there's a little trick to the trade of this. Don't barricade right away. Wait for it to start being destroyed, and then put it up.
Another interesting thing, though, when it comes to destruction, you'll see that the barricades are color-coded. And that's because the team that has their own color can tear it down. And so you can see a sector evolve over time as the new barricades of the attacking team come out, because now they're reinforcing it and the defenders have to recapture.
We've spent almost a decade of watching round by round things reset. It's a little bit odd to see persistent destruction in this game. So, I mean, you'd see it in TDM from time to time when eventually, you know, a map would be reduced to smithereens. But not only do you see it now, but it plays a much bigger impact than it does in TDM, right? TDM is a fun game mode, but here there's much more strategy, as you pointed out. And the way you go about it will only deepen people's understanding of how to play this game.
You know, Raza just displayed that perfectly of questioning whether or not that was one of his fellow Capcans or another team's trap, and then scanned it to see if it was, found out it was, and then shot that. Again, that's another thing as a veteran player, when you're going to be experiencing this, you are going to have to be so aware of the utility that is placed around the map, placed around the sector, because you don't know if it's yours. You don't know if it's the other team. You always have to be on alert. So again, it adds such another core development and process that you're going to be going through while playing this 6v6 game mode of Dual Front.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're just moments away from starting our last match of the day. Gentlemen, it's been great having you here, and I'm assuming you'll be riding along for that last one, but is there anything that you want to talk about that we haven't seen yet, by any chance?
Actually, we've seen quite a bit here that we haven't dug into yet, and we're about to, because there are changes that are coming that you might have seen in Dual Front. They're coming to the entire game. So we'll be talking more about that very soon, actually.
You're just going to tease people?
Yep, that's
You're
it.
not
even just teasing people, teasing us.
Teasing us.
You can whisper in our ears before you head out.
Admittedly, we had to tease them earlier on with the new game mode and all that special stuff, but good things come to those who wait. Our very last matchup of the day is upon us for Dual Front, at least. Team Skittles, who you heard from earlier, and Team Meaty Marley will do battle. Fun fact about both of these team captains, both of them started their careers hiding their identity, and we eventually got a Skittles face reveal, and now we know what Meaty Marley looks like. The question is, game. Will their gameplay be as handsome as they are?
Oh, yeah.
I think they will, but something that really sticks out to me with both these rosters, if you were to ask me, who do you think is the favorite here? I don't have one, for the simple fact that your boy Roy and Atheno look a little deflated in their biceps. I don't think they got their pumping for the day. So you're definitely going to have to rely on the five players, I should say, on each side to pick up the weight from both those two.
I have a slight suspicion as to what the devs were talking about, by the way, because they said there's something that we're changing in regular Siege that wasn't mentioned, but it was briefly shown on the reveal video before this. And then we saw what looked like a pipe on fire, which, as far as I'm aware, Gabriel, there's no operator who puts down explosive pipes.
No, there isn't, and I was curious of that too, because, I mean, you know, as chefs, we add tons of ingredients to our meals and for people to digest. And that's kind of what I'm seeing here, is that ingredient is now being added into the gameplay that we all know and love in Siege. Again, we don't have operators that are laying down these pipes that can be shot. Is he going to shoot it? No, he's not going to shoot it. Unfortunately.
And as for what that quote-unquote ingredient might be, the devs will be talking about that later on. I do like that we have a big mix of players here in Atlanta. You've got controller players, you've got mouse and keyboard players, you've got Siege vets, you've got former pros, you've got world champions, you've got people who, as far as I'm aware, might not have ever really touched Rainbow Six Siege.
Yeah, I mean, Narcoleptic Nugget, he doesn't touch Siege. I mean, look at the gameplay right there. I know we know him from Siege, but I'm a little disappointed in his gameplay so far.
This was the man whose biceps you made fun of earlier.
Yeah, I know I'm going to regret it because, I mean...
Do you think he could take you in a fight?
Yes, for sure. I mean, look at him. He's so locked in. Actually, I lied. He just missed that.
Well, it was through a wall.
Oh, was it?
There are outlines on operators as well, because as you might have noticed on the top of the screen, the teams can run the same ops.
They can.
So you can have 2 vigils on the board at the same time. We saw in one of our earlier matches there were 2 docks on the board, and outlines are very important to be able to distinguish, is it a friendly dock or is it an enemy dock?
Well, I mean, that's something that you're going to have to decipher, like I was saying, with the utility that's going to be on the map. You're going to have to keep in mind a mental awareness of, okay, we're seeing it right
What's
there.
this? No, Macy, get off drone!
See, he's not, he's not appreciating. Okay.
There it is.
Okay, so that's interesting. So, we talked about operators not being able to lay anything like that, but in similarity to a Capital Bolt, similar to a Goyo canister, I mean, this creates a completely different new look and what we can see in Siege X.
This has been an interesting matchup between these 2 teams. They're playing it very slow, which is in stark contrast to the first game that we saw that had Uzi killing everybody in the server. Now, they talked a lot about this neutral sector, and it's coming in pretty quickly. Again, it can spawn at different intervals. This one in just under a minute, and it'll be only 9 minutes into action. Will these teams pay that neutral sector and the assignment that comes with it the same respect that we saw from that Pengu and Spoit matchup? That is the question. Uh-oh.
Now, I am curious how long. Okay, so that flame actually does get put out pretty quickly.
It's not a Goyo canister.
No.
Goyo canister lasts 20 seconds. That looked like about 3.
I don't even think 3. Maybe like 2. But I think we could be wrong. I'll wait to see.
You're
if
gonna fight
anything.
with me over a single second?
No. Completely unrelated to what we were just about to talk about that we might see later on. But I mean, so far, this game mode is intense. There seems to be constant action no matter where you're looking, whether you are the one defending or you are the one attacking.
Now, speaking of, Alpha has to defend against the diffuser that's been put down while also dealing with the hostage objective in the middle of the map. That's the assignment that has spawned in. So you've got 6 players on your team. How many do you send to deal with that diffuse kit, and how many do you send to deal with the assignment?
That's the biggest thing. If I'm in this situation, I'm sending at least 3. At least 3
To which one?
To the neutral sector, to go for that hostage and keeping 1 on one end and 2 on the other, so that way you are still covering all of your bases where you need to, covering those sectors, making sure not only you can defend, but you can still attack, but you can still go for that neutral sector. And they're trying to go. Okay, they did get it.
Varsity managed to pull it off.
I am curious if they know where to bring and extract the hostage here, whereas in the previous game, they were unfamiliar, which I think it's going to be the exact same situation.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's worth noting that everybody who is playing this game has little to no experience with it.
I would have done the same exact thing if I wasn't playing with Joshua.
Yeah, fair enough. So again, it comes down to learning on the fly and differing skill levels, differing platforms, etc. You will be able to get your hands on this beta for Dual Front later today. Again, link your Ubisoft Connect, link your Twitch account, and watch this stream or one of the partnered streams for about 30 minutes, and then you'll be in. You'll be able to play on PC and current-gen consoles. Now, it looks like Skittles might be able to pull it off.
I think he's going to.
Funny, because we listened to the on-boarder, the don't board the helicopter.
But
when
now
the literal opposite is the focus here.
I mean, it's up to that one Brit to shut this out right here and not make sure. And Skittles, I mean, my God, that was devastating right there. And now he's going to go for it. I mean, again, this is a beautiful thing, once again, is where you're not just focused on the sectors. You do have to focus on another objective, which is, again, it's so unique, and it still allows you to be in control of any scenario at any given moment, to be able to shift, to rotate, to be elusive, that you can't just focus on one thing. You have to shift your focus in other places through and through, which again, for new players, old players, it allows you to constantly learn and adapt, which that's what Siege has been about for years.
And what you learn about this game mode is going to change very quickly.
Yes.
Assignments will be changing. Oh!
Do it again! Do it again!
Capture 1/3 complete.
I don't think they're capable of hearing us. But again, just to kind of underscore how this game mode will be supported, a season in Rainbow Six Siege is about 3 months, give or take, because we have 4 a year, just like regular seasons. Twice a season, the operator lineup will change, which means that for a lot of players, as you're finding your footing, things will shift. And then at the start of each new season, the assignment will change. Right now, it's rescue Dokkaebi, pick up the hostage, get her to the helicopter, save her, but who knows what's next? There's one thing that I've noticed that isn't present, and that's anything to do with secure area. If you look at the original 3 game modes of Rainbow Six Siege, you have the regular bomb, which is the whole premise of Dual Front. You have hostage, which is the special assignment, but where is secure area? Could it be coming next or coming at some point in future seasons?
Well, we're already getting something brand new with Dual Front, and it already being a heap loads of different things involved. So we could see an entirely different brand new mode introduced. Well, I mean, you know what I mean entirely.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, honestly, everything's up in the air of what could be brought in.
And it allows the developers to toy with the game, frankly. The Siege X formula has been around and has been tweaked over time. And you're going to see some more of those tweaks coming up in the next portion of this showcase in the core gameplay update section. But you can't really reinvent Siege. But if you want to experiment, Dual Front is a great game mode where you can take those liberties and try out some new stuff, and who knows? Just as right now, original core Siege has influenced Dual Front, something could be cooked up for this game mode that is popular enough, maybe one day down the line, we see it in the core game. Maybe not. This is us idly speculating, but again, it gives the devs a chance. It gives the devs a chance to talk about this new game mode.
And of course he's MVP.
Of course. We've got our last interview for Dual Front with Fastan and Patricia.
Thank you. Hey, Fastan, how are you doing?
I'm doing very good. I'm so excited to be here. The game's been a lot of fun. It's been great.
Oh, amazing. Thank you for letting me take the time to pick your brain. I actually wanted to ask you about strategy. How's the team strategy been? How's that evolving?
Well, our team's doing really good on the strategy front. I feel like, with the people that we're playing against, people said we were not going to stand a chance with some major winners against us or something like that. We played 2 games yesterday, 1 game today. All I want to say is we are 3-0 up in games because we are taking Dokkaebi as our win condition. If you get Dokkaebi and you extract her, you actually get 2/3 off a sector, and that's been helping us win 3 games in a row, and it's been absolutely amazing so far.
Oh, amazing insight. Thank you so much, Fastan. Really appreciate your time being here. Can't wait for more gameplay. Okay. Thanks, guys.
Well, thank you so very much. And again, it's great to have everybody here under one roof playing this game, and we get to get real-time opinions on what we're watching, because we only get to see their perspective, but they get to play it, they get to experience it, and almost every single match played differently.
Yeah. Well, it goes into what I was saying. This is a brand new game mode. It's unexplored. Everyone is going to be approaching it entirely different, whether it's going to be here or you guys later once this all wraps up. It is an unfamiliar area for everybody. So again, there isn't going to be a meta just yet. Who knows? There might not even be a meta in general because there is many factors to take into here that we just have not seen throughout Siege's history.
And if you're new to this stream and just catching up to speed, the game mode we just watched, the new permanent 6v6 game mode coming to Siege X, is going to be playable later today. We'll be giving out beta keys to those who have their Ubisoft Connect and Twitch accounts linked together. So you can get the keys here, you can get it from the partnered streams as well. You just got to watch about 30 minutes, then you'll get access to the beta code. It'll go live when the show wraps up later today. But we've got Patricia ready yet again. As I said, this show's going to go quick. I didn't lie. Patricia, take it away.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Intero and Laxing. How are you guys enjoying Dual Front? Pretty cool. You just heard them talking about some core gameplay updates that we will be revealing in the next segment. So all that's left is for me to set the stage. Please welcome back directors Alexander Karpazes and Christopher Budgeon.
With Seige, we're taking Rainbow Six Siege to new heights. Launching June 10th at the start of Year 10 Season 2, this evolution of Siege builds upon everything that makes the game so special. In the first part of our showcase, we showed you Dual Front, our new 6v6 game mode. And there's a lot more to talk about. Siege X will deliver sweeping updates across all of Siege, with a strong focus on modernizing our maps, refining our gameplay, and evolving our audio, with much, much more to come. At its heart, our philosophy remains the same. Reinforce what makes Siege so unique. Its deep tactics, intense strategy, and the thrill of outsmarting your opponents.
But before we dive into what's next, we want to take a moment to recognize those who have made all of this possible. You, our players. And I bet there's some veteran players in this very room. Your commitment and support over the years has shaped Siege into what it is today. And we have something special to show our appreciation. Let's take a look at our veteran rewards. This is a special way to celebrate your time with Siege. For each year you've been with us, you'll receive a unique reward to honor your dedication. If you've been with us since year 3, for example, you'll receive 7 rewards from year 3 to year 9. And for those who have been with us since year 1, we've prepared something truly special. A new, exclusive Black Ice skin. This is our way of saying thank you for standing with us through every battle, every season, and every moment that continues to shape the future of Siege.
We also want to celebrate your legacy in Siege with a special badge of honor. This exclusive badge marks the year you joined the fight, a testament to your dedication and journey in the game. Whether you're a recent recruit or a battle-hardened veteran, this badge is yours to wear with pride. Now, it's time to talk about an important change that's come into the game. Recently, we introduced crossplay, giving you the ability to play with your friends no matter which platform they're on. With Siege X, we're tearing down barriers, ready to welcome more players that want to experience the best tactical FPS. We want to make it easier to invite your friends to play the game. We want to continue to grow the community, and we want to continue to build this game with veterans and new players from around the world. Starting June 10th, with the launch of Siege X, new players will be able to download the game for free and jump directly into the Siege experience. Free access will help grow the Siege community, but we want to ensure that Siege remains fair and protected, particularly for Ranked and Siege Cup. So, let's break it all down so you know what to expect as a new player and a veteran.
With free access, players can dive into our brand new game mode, Dual Front. Learn the mechanics through our onboarding playlists, sharpen their skills in Quick Match, have fun in seasonal events, and we heard you. Unranked is making its long-awaited comeback. Unranked offers a competitive yet approachable experience for free access players to test their skills and explore the new pick and ban system, which you'll see in action in our show match later on. Free access players can experience core Siege gameplay and access training modes, earn XP, and unlock rewards. As part of the new onboarding process, players can earn and customize up to 26 operators through play. Additional operators can still be unlocked using the currency they earn to continue to grow their roster. The most competitive playlists, Ranked and Siege Cup, are high stakes and reserved for those who unlock the next level of Siege competition through premium access. And as always, you'll need to be level 50 to participate. Also, I want to reassure our dedicated players. You will keep access to everything you have. That's right. Don't worry, veteran players. You'll keep access to everything you've earned over the past 10 years. Your access to our competitive playlists, such as Ranked and Siege Cup, your progression, your operators, your inventory, will all be yours to keep and to continue building for the future. No payments or action required to transfer your progress. As Siege continues to grow, we're not just preserving your legacy, we're refreshing the experience for every player. With SiegeX, our totally revamped UI will be more than just a new coat of paint. How you navigate through game modes, browse your battle pass, and interact with Siege is faster, it's more intuitive, and more immersive. The UI overhaul also streamlines your experience as you track your journey as a Siege player. So whether you're a veteran bringing in new friends or a fresh recruit, we've revamped Siege's global progression system. Clearance levels, reward unlocks, and challenges have been improved, making it easier to track your progress and navigate the early stages of the game. Our focus was to make getting into Siege as fun as possible, while giving you the tools you need to learn the deep and rewarding systems of the game.
We're thrilled to welcome new players into Siege with free access. And we know that a growing community comes with responsibility. With SiegeX, we're making sure the game is the most secure it's ever been. That means industry-leading player protection, fairer matchmaking, and continued efforts to encourage a positive game that welcomes everyone. First, let's talk about game security.
Last month at the Six Invitational, we introduced R6 Shield Guard, our latest anti-cheat initiative. To catch up on the current status of R6 Shield Guard, let's hear from programming team lead Adrian Fraisse.
Cheating and toxicity have no place in Siege, and we won't rest until it's a thing of the past. At SI, we introduced our new initiative, Rainbow Six Shield Guard. R6 Shield Guard takes a multifaceted approach to anti-cheat. Our QB system distributes different executables to our players, preventing tampering and issuing sanctions when detected. Binary hardening is the act of encrypting and hardening our game code to make it even more difficult to tamper with. Our security measures have rendered cheat makers' capacity to come back online much harder, with some of them exiting the scene entirely. Gameplay violation, our in-game defense system that allows for detecting players performing impossible behavior within the game, like sprinting while shooting. This system basically renders raid cheating a thing of the past, and we are working to keep it that way. Our next line of defense, Mousetrap, detects the use of mouse and keyboard in console pools. Our final line of defense is data. We use AI and analytics to detect irregular and exploitative behavior in the game. With SiegeX, our Shield Guard updates live without the need of a scheduled maintenance. Cheats will be harder, more difficult, and costlier to make, and cheat makers won't be able to anticipate security updates before they come in. Our Shield Guard is a long-term investment. We're here to stay, and we can't wait to share more.
We're taking anti-toxicity in the game seriously as well, and we've made huge strides to make sure that everyone feels comfortable playing the game. We've doubled down on our mission. There is no room for abusive language and harassment in Siege. Here's Lancelot Seige, Associate Director of Player Protection and Game Security, to talk about the systems we have in place.
We know that toxicity has become more frequent in game, especially with a constant increase over the past 2 years. But the good news is, since Year 9 Season 4, the past December, we are now seeing the first decrease in toxicity. This is thanks to features such as our rework reputation system that addresses recurrent toxicity while rewarding constant positive behavior. Plus, our recently implemented automated text chat moderation. Since its release in Year 9 Season 4, the number of unacceptable messages has been divided by 2. We are constantly working to improve and balance detections. We are also dedicated to protect potential targeted players with our privacy setting features. In Year 10, the reputation system is fully activated. It means that the most toxic players, the ones with a dishonorable standing, have been removed from ranked, standard, and Siege Cup matches as they were impacting 25% of games played. Players with a positive standing are receiving rewards and specific car backgrounds. The more constructive feedbacks we receive, the better and fairer our systems are. To do so, use the in-game report function or contact us through R6Fix. We are listening to your feedback, and player protection will continue to evolve to make sure that the game is safe for you, even more with free access.
Anti-cheat and anti-toxicity are top priorities for us on Siege, and I want to thank Adrien and Lancelot and their teams for their work making the game the most competitive and fair it's ever been. Now, let's talk about the maps and visual updates we mentioned at the Six Invitational. We've been listening, refining, and working behind the scenes to bring you game-changing updates to core Siege gameplay. SiegeX isn't just about the new experiences. It's about making the 5v5 Siege you love even better. From mechanics to quality of life improvements and everything in between, we're ushering in a new era for Siege.
One of the biggest changes coming to Siege is our modernized map update. We know how important maps are in Siege, and we've been hard at work improving visuals, readability, and overall gameplay flow to make every engagement more tactical and immersive. These updates will enhance lighting and textures and be more in line with the dark, gritty tone that people picture when they think of Siege, all while maintaining the strategic depth players love. But words can only do so much, so let's take a look at how these changes come to life in action.
That's right. At launch, SiegeX will introduce 5 fully modernized maps: Clubhouse, Chalet, Bank, Cafe, and Border. After the season of SiegeX's debut, each new season will deliver 3 more modernized maps. We've done significant work on these environments. We've rebuilt the lighting engine to bring more realistic atmosphere with richer contrast and colors. All major surfaces have been redone, with materials looking more real thanks to updated, physically based rendering standards, displacement mapping, exposure compensation, and increased resolution. For PC players, that means an optional true 4K texture pack for the sharpest, most detailed environments possible. For those watching the stream, we'll be sharing all of these videos today at full resolution so you can see the difference. Building on the technology of lighting and modernized maps, we're also introducing a feature that adds a whole new layer to tactical awareness: first-person shadows.
Now you'll have to think twice about your positioning. If you're entering a room or passing a hallway, you'll be able to see whether your shadow is revealing your location to waiting enemies. This small but crucial detail makes movement and positioning more important than ever. The reason we can make all these changes and still ensure a competitive experience is because of a major change we're doing in making our enemy outlines updated.
When we talk about stealth in Siege, we want players to focus on how much noise they make, not how visible they are. We always want enemies to be clear and identifiable. The new outline system means, even with the more immersive lighting, enemies can't hide in the shadows. This is a big change, but one that over time feels natural and ensures a fun and fair game. As usual, we'll keep listening to your feedback and make adjustments as needed. Another big change is the Repel update in Siege X, bringing more options to the most unique movement mechanics in first-person shooters.
Rappelling has always been a defining feature of Siege, but we knew it could be even better. With advanced rappel, you can now sprint along the wall, and you can pull off what we saw Callie do back in the Playbook story trailer. You can now transition around corners while on rappel, including when sprinting. Here's those improvements in-game.
Smooth cornering and sprinting makes rappelling on a wall and executing a plan so much more satisfying.
It's all about giving players more control, making movement feel natural, intuitive, and immersive. This is why we've also taken the time to update our basic movement in the game to include momentum as well. No more start and stop movement, but true flow and responsiveness. Let me give you a concrete example of this in action. Picture yourself moving across the bed in the bedroom gym side of Clubhouse. Before the changes, as soon as you ran off the bed, you would immediately stop running, drop straight down, and then start running again once you've landed on the floor. With the momentum-based movement update, you will continue to run off of short drops and carry your momentum with you. This achieves a new level of flow and immersion in the moment-to-moment action of Siege. We can't wait to see the creative plays that these changes will inspire.
We've talked visual improvements and new movements. Let's dive into something that's going to shake up gameplay itself. Say hello to destructible ingredients.
During an operation, every detail matters. Your intel, your loadout, your position, but above all else, your environment.
All right, I freaking love these things. Destructible ingredients are shaking things up in Siege, bringing fresh tactical opportunities for both attackers and defenders. These aren't just environmental details, they're strategic tools that swing the outcome of combat engagements in modernized maps and dual front. First up, fire extinguishers. You'll see these scattered across the map, and when they're destroyed, they release a thick cloud of smoke, giving you some quick visual cover. But that's not all. If an enemy is standing too close when one bursts, they'll be concussed, setting you up for the perfect push. Next, we have gas pipes, and these can really disrupt the flow of the fight. Shoot it, and it releases a controlled flame, cutting off rotations and forcing roamers to move. But here's the catch. Once the fire reaches its peak, the pipe explodes, covering the area in flames and creating a brutal area denial effect. And finally, metal detectors. You have seen these before, but they're a little more responsive than you've come to know them. Metal detectors are now fully interactive. You can disable them temporarily or permanently, giving you the control over when movement is detected. Do you disable them to sneak through unnoticed, or leave them on to bait enemies into giving away their position? You can even destroy them outright with explosives. These destructible ingredients introduce new tactical possibilities, giving players more ways to manipulate their surroundings and outplay their opponents.
Each of these destructible ingredients adds a new layer of strategy and creates fresh opportunities for creative play. Whether you're using them to gain an advantage or counter an opponent's plan, they'll keep every round dynamic and unpredictable. We can't wait to see the tactical strategies you'll come up with. Destructible ingredients will be available in modernized maps and in the dual front game mode. And we're not done working on destructible ingredients. We'll be listening to all of you to see how we evolve them in the future. Speaking of listening, audio in Siege is one of the most important tools a player can use to get a competitive edge. That's why we're introducing the biggest audio overhaul Siege has ever seen or heard. Every gunshot, footstep, and explosion will be more accurate, more immersive, and more clear than ever before. You're going to want to turn up your volume and put on your headphones for this one. Get ready to hear the difference.
In Rainbow Six Siege, audio has been overhauled to convey a greater sense of accuracy in order to give players more cues to reliably detect enemy actions. These audio enhancements add a layer of spatial distinctions, making it easier to tell if someone is coming from your left or your right. Sound propagation has been upgraded, with sound traveling vertically and allowing players to know if an enemy is pushing from above or below. Sound also propagates through openings created in surfaces, offering more immersion. Sound reverberation is more realistic, relaying whether nearby actions are coming from a big room, a small room, indoors, or outdoors, making pinpointing enemy locations more reliable. These audio innovations offer new tools to adjust response tactics, deliberately cause noise to draw rivals into an ambush, or use carpeted areas to limit the sound of infiltration, and use flashbangs to mask the sounds of powerful abilities, making for a more immersive, refined, and satisfying tactical shooter experience.
I get goosebumps every time I hear the new audio. With this audio overhaul, every sound in Siege is more precise and immersive than ever. You'll be able to pinpoint gunshots, footsteps, and explosions more accurately, whether they're coming from the left, the right, above, or below. Intel makes or breaks great plays in Siege. With these enhancements, audio has become an even greater Intel asset and is more reliable than ever. Audio will be able to provide the intel you need to succeed, but to truly dominate, teams need to be able to share that intel, coordinate attacks, and call out enemy positions. But we know that not everyone is comfortable using voice comms.
That's why we're introducing the communication wheel, a new tool to design communication faster, clearer, and more accessible for everyone.
In the heat of battle, communication is key. That's why the communication wheel is so important. It's your new way to call the shots and keep your squad in sync. Need help with a breach or a rotate? Call out the spot for your play. Is an area clear? Let your squad know it's safe to reposition. Ready to make a push? Tell your team you are moving in and lead the attack. And when a teammate makes the right move, confirm it with an okay or send them a quick thank you to keep the teamwork flowing. The communication wheel gives every player the tools to share their strategy regardless of their play style, keeping your team one step ahead.
We covered a lot of subjects, but what about weapons? We know how much players love their weapon skins, and now, for the first time in Siege, you can check them out with Weapon Inspect. I know, we've been looking forward to Weapon Inspect just as much as you have. Rifles, pistols, shotguns, Siege has over 100 weapons in the game, and you can inspect every single one of them on the battlefield. Now is the time to flex your favorite skins and appreciate every single detail.
You're about to see all of these changes in action in a 5v5 show match with your favorite creators. But before we get there, I wanted to take a moment to speak directly to all of our veteran players and community. I'd just like to personally thank you for making Siege what it is today. I myself am a year one player, and the last 10 years have been incredible. Thank you for the laughs, thank you for the revives, thank you for the adrenaline pumping clutches, and thank you for the EMPs and cover fire as I was trying to open the main breach as my boy Thermite. 10 years of this game and the moments that have come with it are truly something to celebrate. And I can assure you that we still have plenty in store throughout the year to celebrate this momentous milestone with all of you. We've been building towards this moment for 3 years. We've been building towards this moment for 3 years, and it feels unreal to finally be able to share it. Siege X marks the beginning of a new era of Rainbow Six Siege. This is our commitment to keeping Siege at the top as the best team-based tactical shooter out there. This is our commitment to the next 10 years of Siege. And this is our commitment to you, our players, for being here this whole time. Thank you.
Rainbow Six Siege has changed my life, and I've had many players from around the world tell me the same thing. Siege X is the continuation of this life-changing game. And on behalf of the entire team, who are working so hard to build on the amazing legacy, we would like to thank you all. The stories you share, the friends you make along the way, and the passion you have for the game inspires us to always make Siege better. And we have one more announcement. As you know, our esports event, Reload, will take place in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, this May. And today we can say that we are excited to announce that this will be the first Siege competition ever played on Siege X. Everything we just presented today will be there. The modernized maps, the overhauled audio, the new rappel mechanics, the works. Reload will also be the place for us to share with you the full roadmap for year 10 and give you an idea of what's to come after the launch of Seigex on June 10th. Before we jump into the 5v5 show match, I'm going to pass it over to Patricia.
Wow. Thank you so much, Alex and Josh. Incredibly exciting updates. Wow. And now, a little surprise for all of you Ash fans out there. Let's take a look.
Well, an awful lot of information, and I didn't really expect it to get so emotional. But to Josh's point, it's not just the devs whose lives have been made better by this game. It's both of us as well. It's many of you. We're not just a community. In a lot of ways, it feels like a family. And for the last 10 years, so many people's lives have been made better by Seige. So from both of us, a very heartfelt thanks to the dev team, to the publishers, to the developers who've worked on this, to the people on the esports side of things, to the streamers and content creators, but most importantly, to you watching. Because we wouldn't be here without you, the community.
Yeah, I mean, it's a surreal moment to be in this historical moment, you know, a decade of Siege, and to think that we're now here with something brand new for each and every single person, whether from the beginning and to now. I mean, it is truly a heartfelt moment, not only for me, for you, and like you said, for everyone around to just be in this moment, to partake in this. And again, thank you to each and every single one of you.
And why don't you give yourself here in Atlanta a round of applause, because you've been great so far today. I know that there was some onion cutting going on moments ago, but this is ultimately a celebration, and you've been spectacular so far. We are not done just yet. We do have a show match coming up. I'm excited. Are you excited?
I'm excited. Oh, okay.
I just complimented you. How are you booing me? I'm right. That's very hurtful.
Maybe weapon inspect? Oh.
I'm weapon inspecting my cue cards. They love it. That's a cheap pop. That's a cheap pop. A lot of big updates to the core of Siege. We saw a lot of it during Dual Front, but now you'll get to see it in action in what is called Core Siege, the game that you know and love, the game that you've been playing for some of you maybe a couple months, some of you maybe a couple days, some of you maybe since the game launched in December 2015. We've decided to adopt another dev though. We had both Alex and Josh on earlier, and now we're gonna bring in our good friend Chris to talk about something else that is a little bit intriguing. It hasn't been in the game since the beginning, but it has become a fundamental part of Siege. And I am gonna put some blame on you. You're the reason why people's favorite operators aren't available in certain games. We're gonna be talking about pick and ban. While we talk about the pick and ban, let's get ready for Skittles versus Meaty Marley in our 5v5 show match. Yeah, get loud, come on, you can do better than that.
I feel like that was like the same energy. I'm surprised it's not as loud.
Chris, there's something very different going on the screen right now. Care to walk us through it?
Yeah, we're now seeing our newly updated pick and ban system for ranked, Siege Cup, and the returning unranked. So each team will ban one operator before each round and up to 3 operators on each side. This new system is much faster to get into the action as both attack and defense ban in parallel. It also offers more strategic options when planning your next round, as you can ban with the knowledge of which site you want to defend or attack. For example, if you want to defend basement on Chalet, you can ban Ram before the next round. You can also act on information you gain throughout the match. So if you notice they have a good smoke, you can take him off the table and force your opponents to switch up their defense. We are excited to see how this shakes up the meta. You can ban more ops, it's faster, and you have more intel to inform your decisions. We have a specific adaptation of this system for our esports competition. You'll see the esports version of this new pick and ban system in action for the first time at the Reload event in May in Rio, Brazil.
Thank you very much, Chris. Is there anything you want to add just before we say goodbye? We've unadopted you now. You're free to go. While we watch the game, is there anything about the pick and ban that you want to touch on?
I don't want to really touch on the pick and ban because we already went over that, but I will say, once again, thank you so much to our players. Thank you for today. Thank you for coming. The creators, the casters, our dev team, thank you so much.
And we thank you as well. It's a joint effort. There are a lot of people who worked tirelessly for countless hours to make not just Siege X happen, but this Siege X showcase. Lots of people behind the scenes. You get to hear and see our faces, but we're not here without the other people who are operating the cameras, the mics, production, and all of that. So a heartfelt thank you to them as well. So
there we go.
You're supposed to clap. You're supposed to clap too.
Caught on in the end.
Now, one of the things that was touched on by the devs was that destructible ingredients, and we saw it immediately. Meaty Marley meleeing the fire extinguisher, and another one just went as well. Now, you can wait and let those destructible ingredients go off in the cut and thrust of a match. Or if you think that they might hinder you, you can get rid of them real early on. There's variations to it.
Again, it adds that core element of Siege that we all know and love, that you can outsmart an opponent. You can just get rid of it entirely. I love that you are able to, whether you want to deal with it or you can get rid of it right away. It gives that option, which I always can appreciate, that it's not necessarily forced. But again, the fact that this is now another element in these maps, such as Clubhouse, does change the dynamic of how this map can be played. For me, instantly, when I think about rotating, you hit that active ingredient to make those pipelines go off, to cut off that rotate, whether that's an attacker, whether that's a defender doing that, it just creates another element to Siege.
Now the team's on your screen, as you can see, on the bottom portion, Skittles, Eldit, Macy J, Varsity Gaming, and Yo Boy Roy on one side. And speak of Roy, you said his biceps looked a little bit smaller, but the man is carrying his team at the moment.
You know, I think he got his workout in. I think the blood's flowing in the biceps. They're filled now. I mean, he got a 2K. He just hit a frost mat, so honestly, leg day isn't looking too great. Can't lift that up unless you don't have a strong core, so we might have to take that back for the next round. But I mean, it was a 1v1.
And Varsity clutches it out.
They took him to the academy.
They did. First round on the new look of Clubhouse. By the way, Clubhouse is one of the 5 maps that have received a visual update / visual overhaul. And as Chris mentioned, we don't just have the pick and ban at the start of the match anymore. You ban operators between rounds. So in round number 1, the attackers didn't want to deal with the Valkyrie, so they got rid of it. The defenders didn't want to deal with a Monty, and now they don't want to deal with the Blackbeard. Hey, let me say this. This isn't an esport event, but even the casual community says, we don't want to play with shields. Let's get rid of them. So a Blackbeard ban and a Bandit ban, and the one thing that you can lean upon from your experience playing is a Bandit ban by the attackers comes in because you are expecting your defending opponents to go to a certain bomb site. Now, it looks like Team Meaty Marley will go down to basement, where Bandit isn't necessarily as critical. Kai tends to be a stronger operator here, but no Bandit means that church wall downstairs, it's gonna stay intact and will require some other type of denial, which, by the way, Meaty Marley, his team is not bringing at all.
Yeah, and again, it creates a completely
What is this? For those who are new to Rainbow Six Siege, don't do that. What is that?
Hey, it's okay to do that. This could be used in a way that we've never seen before.
Do you think that we're about to witness a new competitive esport meta?
Absolutely.
With a triple unreinforced panel and a lone mirror window?
Yeah, absolutely. I've seen, you know, what haven't you seen in Siege? It's endless opportunities, abilities. I just saw 3 cap cans at the front of that door. I don't typically see that. So the fact that we're seeing a mirror on an unreinforced church wall, it makes sense. I'm going for a spawn kill here, but Ross can't get it done. But back to your point of just, you know, the getting rid of certain operators through and through without each round instead of it being at the very forefront of it, again, create such a different level in how you want to approach Siege. And that's always been the beautiful thing about Siege, is you can't get too comfortable. The meta is constantly shifting. And I think we can all agree that you need to be on your toes when you're playing Siege.
Thank you to Rollo for showing us how the weapon inspect plays in. I will say, with all the changes we've seen, the audience did seem the loudest at the weapon inspect. It has been
rightfully so, but I gotta also
very
say,
well received.
The visual enhancements as well. Clubhouse looks absolutely beautiful.
That drywall looks like it was put up yesterday.
I think you could smell it if you were in the lobby.
I can. Smells like a new build. Which, by the way, seems like Seige's is. Now, we both come from esports, so we're going to take some time to actually cast this like a real esport match. We'll also take some time to be a bit more casual in the way we go about this. And all of these players currently competing know Clubhouse. It's one of the oldest maps. It came with the game in launch. It was the first map to receive an update, tweaking it to make it more competitive for where Siege was at. As the game evolved and we got more operators, maps became harder to defend, harder to attack, and they needed some refreshments. Clubhouse was the first map to get it. There have been a couple since, Oregon, Cafe, Chalet, etc. Varsity Gaming's out here. Farming clips, but it's
talking about Varsity just got put down.
Macy and Narco as the last two left. Diffuser running away, and a counter disable as Macy sweeps in. And he blows the doors off of the defense. Macy as well, one of the OGs, making content since the game basically first launched. There's a lot of Siege veterans and Siege royalty, if you could say that, in this lobby.
Without a doubt, and of course Macy's going to know how to play those post plants. I mean, you see his videos that he uploads. Macy does a very good job at capturing how Siege is played at a tactical mindset. He has a very, very good understanding of the ability to outplay an opponent. And again, for that post plant, easy, he gets it done. But again, seeing these bans come out, now the Dokkaebi makes sense. Vigil on a Clubhouse, little skeptical of that ban coming through. I think there are some operators on that list that you could get rid of that would help you on those defensive halves. But, oh wait, no, I believe that's the attacking half. That is my correction. I don't think for the attackers you really need to get rid of a Vigil on here. But again, the fact that you are now able to just get rid of these many operators throughout the game, it's a completely different look.
We are running out of time for you to get access to the dual front beta. So if you are just tuning in, hurry. Link your Ubisoft account with Twitch and then watch either this stream or one of our partnered streamers, and you'll gain access to the beta code after about a half hour or so. You hope that Team Meaty Marley are able to bring this one back, because typically Clubhouse is a defender-sided map. The fact that Team Skittles are already off to the races with 2 rounds is a bit abnormal for what we see out of Clubhouse. But hey, it is a show match. This is not the epitome of competitive, and most importantly, it's not an esports competition.
Well, I think it's just, when you look at Roy and you look at Varsity, he's kind of just taking him to school, and Roy's taking him to the gym. They're both educating Team Meaty Marley on some degree.
Yeah. It's a cheeky little angle that we just saw from Rollo in a spot that was popularized in esports called the Adam spot, as there was a player named Adam who at one point in time hid there as a Vigil, went undetected, and then got an ace as he came back. What on earth? Atheno capitalizing off of that. Rasco trading back as Varsity gets 1 for Team Skittles. I feel like I cursed this team, Gabe, as it's only Yo Boy Roy and Eldid as the last remaining. They'll plunge through the smoke of that fire extinguisher in the hallway. Marley lets the sledge of Yo Boy Roy swing by. We're not even a minute in, but Rollo blows things up with a nitro cell, and Team Meaty Marley is on the board.
There we go. Get the 2-piece with the C4 from Rollo. Again, that's going to be a TikTok clip that I'm sure she's going to upload as soon as possible.
They're all farming clips. They're all farming clips.
Okay.
Side swap has now come in, so as was discussed by Chris, but Gabe, you can touch upon, when you're on attack, you ban a defender.
Correct.
When you are a defender, you ban an attacker. So gone are whether you want to remove one or the other. Now it's just locked in, you tackle it head on. Team Skittles, whatever bomb site they go to, which looks like it'll be one of the upstairs bomb sites, CCTV and cache, they don't want to deal with the thermite. Thermite is so strong on this bomb site, not just to open up that CCTV wall, but additionally to open up the other portion of the upstairs, which would be the jacuzzi wall or the construction wall. It's going to hinder the attackers.
Which we're not only seeing a bandit brought successfully, but we are also seeing that mute just for that little extra bit of reinforcement to make sure that any bit of denial on those walls is going to be warded off. But that goes into, once again, the picks and bans. That the fact that it falls off on behalf, that you are now seeing what the other team had to go against, what that defending side wasn't successful with, you can essentially get rid of once you get to that level and know exactly kind of the approach and how you want to play your defenses or how you want to play your attackers just based off that first half.
Bomb located by attackers.
Looking like it's going to be a pretty default setup from the side of Team Skills. Nothing too crazy here. I am expecting Varsity to either bandit trick this wall, which I think that's what we're going to see here. He's going to bandit trick the server wall. And then the real question is, how is Team Meaty Marley going to play into this attack?
For those that are unfamiliar with Seige, and I mean, I suspect there's a few people watching who haven't had full hands-on experience with the game, when you reinforce a wall, it means that you need a specific gadget to cut through that steel reinforcement. Thermite is one of those operators. He was one that was banned by Team Skittles. You see that Rasco, playing that ace, will have access to it. Atheno also has access to one of those gadgets. When a bandit puts down those batteries, it electrifies the wall, which prevents that hard breach gadget from going off. Varsity just put down a new battery, destroying one of the gadgets, but he wasn't able to get both walls in time. So there is now an opening through that reinforced wall that the attackers can use to their advantage, but holes work both ways. Defenders can use it too.
And the question is, I mean, we have a lot of intel. We've always stressed throughout Siege, intel, 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 and we have that not only with the Valkyrie, but then with the Echo. So it's a question of, they have nothing to find these cameras. They have to be vigilant of where they're planting, where they're going to be trying to entry from, and seeing if they can find this intel, where I am going to be expecting Team Skittles to be utilizing that to the best of their ability. And we could see an engagement here happening in construction, where we do see Varsity go down. He's now getting taken to the gym from Atheno, and it's not looking too good for Skittles.
I mean, when you're playing on Bandit, your primary job is to keep those walls electrified. And
correct.
Varsity did that for the most part. To die early, we were about halfway through the round, it's not terrible. I mean, you never want to be the team to give up the first kill. Skittles does trade it back a little bit later, and then Roy will give the advantage to Skittles. They sacrificed Varsity, and I guess the rest of the team was like, now we can play a little bit better. And they very quickly turned this around. Now Skittles is on the board for this round as well. Every single player in the lobby with a kill. The team's evenly balanced to this point. And boy, oh boy, what a heady task for Rasco and Atheno. On the right side of your screen, you see our free cam showing off part of the objective, but Team Skittles is just indomitable. Macy J closing out the round again. Team Skittles had surrendered the previous round to Team Meaty Marley, but Team Skittles going back to a 2-round lead.
Again, it's that information game. They were playing beautifully with that, going for spawn peaks, running out, capitalizing on those moments, as we just saw in that last, where Skittles jumps out the window, grabs that kill onto Atheno. So again, this is going to be important when you're going into this ban phase. What is your opponent using that is catching you off guard? Get rid of that information. We aren't going to get rid of that information. So that's a little unfortunate, but to say the least for Roy, I think he's going to be a little actually, no, they banned that. So Roy is actually banning his favorite character of Castle. That's kind of a questionable choice on my end, because as we know, he loves Castle. Everyone knows he loves Castle. He makes strats with Castle, and now he's eliminating. So then it makes me question then, are they getting rid of the Castle because they know exactly that they're going to try to copy Roy's strats that we've seen through and through on all social medias?
We are very quickly on match point. With a show match, we are playing by the ranked rules. So if you are new to Rainbow Six Siege, or I guess Siege X, as we call it now, this is where the end comes for Team Meaty Marley unless they're capable of winning on attack. Again, Clubhouse is a very defender-sided map. If you play this map, the defenders should win the lion's share of rounds. Team Meaty Marley dropped the ball when they were playing as defenders. Team Skittles did not do that on their maiden voyage of defense. Will they prolong this series, or will that be it for our show match? I thought the teams were a little bit more balanced. I'm a little disappointed that Team Meaty Marley have fallen by the wayside. Marley in particular, it's his namesake. Both of his kills only coming in the first round.
I was just going to say, it looks like Team Skittles is actually playing into their setup. We're on the other end on Meaty Marley's. We were kind of seeing, you know, a little unorthodox setup. It's not to say that unorthodox gameplay doesn't work in a game like Siege, but from what we're seeing just at the basic level, Team Skittles is definitely trying to set up properly and close it out here at a 4-1. Oh! He does catch the mirror, your boy
Finally.
Roy. He did try to do what Meaty Marley, I believe, was successful in, but couldn't get it done. To continue on, Marley is going to clear with this Nomad. No one's droning for him. This is where you need to be droning. This is key. Quick engagement. Buck ends up capitalizing on it. Now they're in a 5v3. This is actually looking very good. So as you know, I was commending on Team Skittles. There we go. We see that ingredient being displayed right there to block off any rotates going down through those main lobby stairs. Wonderful catch from our observers. But again, this is looking good for Meaty Marley. They just have to play this man advantage.
And these players in the lobby likely have hundreds to even thousands of hours playing on Clubhouse. None of those hours played with the destructible ingredients. So I appreciate the fact that they're trying to use them, because it wouldn't be second nature to me. I wouldn't think, oh, I need to shoot one of these fire extinguishers. Oh, I need to pop one of the pipes. I would be thinking, bog standard executes, let's do what needs to be done, but they're showing off some of the changes to Core Siege, and Rasco flattens Macy J. As it's a big round for Marley. And this game is not over yet.
I think Marley's team heard what you're saying, that you're a little disappointed in their gameplay, and then they go into probably one of the hardest sites to try to take as an attacker, and you do it flawlessly. So again, it's going to be a question of what are you going to ban here to try to get you to push it to an overtime. Let's see what we are going to see out of Meaty Marley and from Team Skittles to either help secure the game or push it even further. So now we're seeing the Bandit. I would have rather seen the Bandit come out sooner when you are on that attack, but we are seeing the Ace, so they are getting rid of 2 hard breachers and that ability of Thatcher being able to help assist with those.
I mean, I think the thing with the Bandit ban is that when you go into that second half, you don't know what bomb site it's going to be played on, right? And Bandit really isn't the strongest denial operator on that bottom floor bomb site. You like to see Mute, you like to see Kaid. Sometimes teams won't even run any denial. So if you ban a Bandit on that church bomb site down, or on that church bomb site down below, it's a bit of a suboptimal ban. Now that that bomb site has been locked out, they're not going to go to it again because they, you know they're going to rotate through, you know they're going to go to one of the upstairs bomb sites. Now you can leverage that knowledge into a better ban, and that's exactly what we saw. Bandit is far better upstairs.
I think Team Skittles learned their lesson. They aren't going to play as aggressive. They have a lot of stall. They have Macy on tuber route to be able to use those tuber route canisters and to be able to slow down those hard breaches. Oh, you don't take damage in prep phase. That's actually good to know. That's it. Okay. Yeah, you don't take any damage in the prep phase. That is actually, I think, farly beneficial that you don't take that damage if a teammate accidentally shoots it, punches it, whatever that is. I do enjoy seeing that.
I think it's pretty understandable that in the onset, teams will destroy those destructible ingredients early until they figure out how to use them to their advantage, right? You don't want to be in a position where suddenly a rotate is cut off for you as a defender, or suddenly there's a burst of smoke that you're not accounting for. Take care of them in the prep phase. Beautiful shot by Nugget to get rid of Macy J. Team Meaty Marley on attack, doing quite well. I guess it's just an attacker-sided clubhouse.
Now, I am curious in terms of denial. Obviously, we have many things that can deny many things across the board. Now, obviously, with those pipes, when they are destroyed, it does emit that fire. I am curious with a Zoto canister if that then does freeze up the fire, delays it, and then it will explode almost immediately after. I would love to see that if we were able to, but not sure if we will, but we will be able to test it ourselves.
These are questions that will be answered when we get greater opportunities to play the core of Siege. A reminder to everybody about getting access to that beta code. It is for Dual Front, not for the core Siege game you're seeing now. If you want to play what you're watching, you got to play regular Rainbow Six Siege at the moment. But the beta code that will give you access to SiegeX is for Dual Front. Your favorite creators will continue to stream for about an hour once we're done the official broadcast, which is in a couple minutes, frankly. Once this show match is done and we talk to the winning team, we'll be saying goodbye, and then your favorite creators will continue to stream. And if you watch them and one of the partnered streamers, you can still gain access to the beta code. All you got to do is link your Ubisoft Connect and Twitch account, and you'll gain access to the beta code for Dual Front. That's available on PC and current-gen consoles.
Well, Parker, I am as excited as everyone else is to get my hands on it, but what I'm even more excited is to see this engagement of the Kaid taking that engagement onto Hot Tub, and then an immediately collapse of them trying to take site. Marley does a great job taking over construction, but Varsity once again taking Eno to school. It is on Marley for his team to keep them alive.
If Marley fails here, that's the ball game, and it's a strike down the middle from Varsity Gaming. Team Skittles will win the very first Siege X showdown. Look at how happy he is. You can just tell how much it meant to him.
I mean, look at all of them. They're stretching. It's just another day in the office. Look at Macy. He's like, oh, look, this was easy.
I mean, show matches are for fun. We're here to showcase the new goods, but these are ultimately for fun. Teams are going to play operators that you might not see all that frequently. They're going to play operators that might not be in the meta. They're going to play bomb sites that you might not see very frequently. But we got to see in that particular map what the visual overhaul for Clubhouse looks like. We got to see the new pick ban phase in action. We got to see those destructible ingredients and how they factor in to the goings-on of a round.
I mean, whether it's the destructible ingredients, whether it's the audio overhaul, whether it's the picks and bans across the board, we are entering a new era where metas are going to be shaped and defined all over once again for this.
Well, you heard from him earlier today, and he's the winner. So why not hear from Skittles again? We've got Patricia down on the stage. She's having a preliminary chat with him.
Hi there. I am here with with Skittles and Team Skittles. Please give it up one more time. How you feeling with this win?
Easy.
I mean, you know your way around Siege so well, 10 years, right? Yeah. Do you have any advice for people who are yet to get their hands on Siege X?
Take everything in. It's a completely different game. There's so much to learn. As you guys all saw, there's like a whole new band system, new lighting, new sound, gun inspection. There's so much to learn now. Just take it all in.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for your time, Skittles. It's been an absolute pleasure to watch you play. Thank you. All right, guys. So I'm about to take off, about to conclude, but before I pass you down to Intero and Laxine, I just have a quick word of gratitude. I have been a part of this game for 10 years now. I can't believe it. Yeah, woo, Siege. And in that time, I have met so many incredible casters and fan artists and creators and devs and cosplayers, and it really is my honor to be a part of what is very much a global community that is Siege, right? And so I just wanted to say I'm so thrilled for you all, so thrilled to see what's coming next and how it continues to bring you all together. Thank you again, everyone. Appreciate it. Awesome. Okay.
Thank you very much, Patricia. Gratitude has been a constant theme here in Siege X, and I gotta say, it is really cool to see so many of the people who voice characters in our game show up at events. Patricia is just one of many that we have had an opportunity to meet at events all over the globe, and again, we're not here without you. Today was fantastic. I was a little bit nervous about this event because I know how much Siege means to so many people, and we knew the stakes, Gabe. But if anything, today should show how important this game is and how excited people are for the new era of Siege X.
I mean, not even that, but just for everyone involved in the Siege community, whether new or old, this is a moment for every one of us to enjoy, to take, and to appreciate, and to just live in this moment and to carry it for the next 10 years of Siege and on Siege X.
I mean, if it's really 10 years, I will be in my 40s, which basically in gaming years means that I am on the verge of the retirement home. But we got to see the new 6v6 game mode Dual Front. We got to see core gameplay updates. We got to see them in action in Core Siege in 5v5. There were lots of goodies, and we're not quite done yet. You can still gain access to the Dual Front beta for the last time. My call to action to you. Connect your Ubisoft Connect account and Twitch. Watch either this stream or soon to be the partnered streamers, because we're about to wrap up, and you'll gain access to play Dual Front later today on either PC or one of the current gen systems. It has been one heck of a day, and it is a great honor to be one of the two people to take a moment to pay tribute to a game that has made our lives better, but has also just made our lives, period. Yeah. Think about where we would be if it wasn't for our involvement in Siege. You've been involved for almost a decade. I've been involved for coming on 8 years. That's crazy. So thank you to you, the community. Thank you to Ubisoft. Thank you to all who took part. Yeah. Cheer for maybe the last time.
Absolutely.
Thank you to Alienware and Blacklight, our sponsors. But before we sign off, there's one person who has had an enormous impact on this game, and as I don't want to say breathe new life into it, but it is undeniable that his involvement, his love of the game, and his constant work on screen and off has made our game bigger than ever. He received a commendation at the 6th Invitational, our World Championship event. Who do you think it is?
King George?
Not King George. No. It's Jinxie, somebody who has breathed life, I will say it, has breathed life into this game. Jinxie has been able to put a big spotlight on everything from the casual scene, the console scene, our involvement in esports with his affiliation with Space Station. He was honored with the MVP award at our biggest event of the year in Boston just a month ago. So many people are here because of him. This game is here because of him. And before we toss to him, do you have any experiences with Jinxie? Do you have any anecdotes to share?
You know, I said this in Boston, I'll say it here. I went into Jinxie's stream when he was averaging 10 viewers, 9 viewers, and something that has always stuck with me every time I've had my interaction with Jinxie is he's stayed to his character through and through. No matter he was at 10 viewers, no matter if he's at 90,000 viewers. It is so important to just remember who you are, to stay true to who you are, and Jinxie is truly the epiphany of that.
And it's not just Jinxie himself, but the people around Jinxie. I mean, he's hosted console creator events. He's hosted his World Cup events. He's got friends that he games with quite regularly who now themselves have a career. Some of them have homes because of this game and the money that they're able to make by highlighting our game and being a part of this community. It's not easy being a content creator.
It's not. It takes a lot. And again, I mean, for everyone involved, everyone plays a ginormous part to that, because without all of us, we all can't make this happen through and through.
Yeah, whether it's on the traditional platforms like YouTube or Twitch, or whether it's on the newer platforms, TikTok being the big one, Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts, there are different ways for content creators to get involved. And today, Seigex was everywhere on social media. And the hope is that that carries forward, because it is really a new era for our game. I don't stream much these days. I don't know if you do, but it's kind of given me that itch to get back into it.
It is, and I mean, I think we can start our duo shit back up. I think we should play together.
You think we should stream together again?
I think we should.
You want to be a brand risk? You think we should be brand risks when we stream?
I don't think we're ever brand risks when we stream.
No, it's always fun. And the thing with you and I, and to go back to the point about community, is that through this game, you and I met years ago, and it's a friendship that has transcended gaming spaces.
Brotherhood.
And it's a friendship that you and I share, not just on screen, but off screen.
Absolutely.
As well. So thank you again to all of you. Just waiting on information regarding Jinxie.
I mean, what information do we need on Jinxie? We've already, I mean, he's the face. He's that guy. He's him.
Yeah. I mean, so many people are streaming and watching this game, by the way, but I mean, like, Jinxie's, he's the king.
He is the king. He's not the King George. He's the King Jinxie.
For those that are unfamiliar with the scene, by the way, King George was, for a period of time, one of the biggest streamers. He is a world champion himself. He came from the esports scene. He still streams. Unfortunately, he's not here, which is a bit unfortunate. I would have liked to have seen him.
Well, it's hard to see him. He is kind of short, too.
And now he has a bidet company.
He does.
Yeah.
I do have one. He sent me one. And
what was, before we say goodbye, what was your favorite moment of this event so far? Like, look back on all of it.
Honestly, Parker, being here from day one and seeing everything that was unveiled here, there is not one specific thing that I can say I enjoy more than the other. This is, for going into a brand new era, all of this needed to happen, needed to be added, and it's just changed the vision and what Siege has looked like for so long and continuing to do so. So to answer your question bluntly, I enjoyed everything across the board.
It really was an extraordinary day. And that's the last pun you're going to hear from us, because we're all done. Thank you to everybody involved in this production. Thank you to you for watching. You can still get your beta code. So watch your favorite partnered content creators and play Dual Front later today. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for your viewership, and take care of yourselves.